The region has been plagued by racial division both in the city and the suburbs. Racism, economic segregation, and lack of job opportunities have all contributed to racial tension and fear of a Detroit split between the haves and have-nots. In a city that is 82% African American, is it the responsibility of city government to address racial and economic tensions between longtime residents and new residents? And if so, how will you do it?
It absolutely is the mayor's responsibility. And we do have haves and have-nots. But the responsibility of leadership is to make sure that where you start out does not determine where you end up. It means we have to have paths of opportunity. And there are so many barriers in the city of Detroit. 25% of our residents don't own a car. And when I started, half the buses were in the terminal. People couldn't get to work. You waited for a long time. We added 100 buses, 1,500 trips a week. We have people who don't have job training opportunities. And so we've set up Detroit at Work. And now we have training programs for the hospital jobs. I went to DMC and Henry Ford and St. John's and said, why won't you hire Detroiters? And they said, they don't have the skills. So we started a program with Focus Hope and Oakland University. I just went for the first graduating class of 45 people, 35 of them already have jobs at the hospitals, and the other 10 are being interviewed. We are replicating these opportunities over and over. And some of the people who face the greatest discrimination are returning citizens. If we don't provide opportunities, then folks are just going to get right back up to what they were doing before. And so we started a program in connection with the state at Ryan Prison, where I've been on a number of occasions. And we go into Ryan for folks 6 months before they're going to be released, and offer forklift training for jobs that are there $17 an hour. We offer culinary arts training for chefs, blight training, and we've already had 130 of these prisoners released, 65 straight into good-paying jobs. The job of the mayor is make sure there's opportunity for everyone.
Senator Young, your thoughts on the role of government to address racial, and that can often lead to economic tensions among residents?
Listen, Devin, if you're a black person in this country, you're 3 times more likely to be arrested. You're 3 times more likely to be handcuffed. You're 3 times more likely to be searched. You're 5 times more likely to be incarcerated. You're 6 times more likely to be incarcerated longer than your white counterparts. This is a serious issue. And what we need to do is we need a mayor who understands and hears the cries of the people and is willing to put people back to work, rebuilding our roads, tearing down these abandoned buildings, making sure that minority contractors get jobs, and when they get jobs, make sure they get paid, because that's not going on under my opponent's administration. But secondly, we also need a mayor that's going to talk to the people honestly about race and what's going on. That if you're an African-American person, you are 2 times more likely to be unemployed. Even if you have the same level of college education as your white counterparts, you're 103 times more likely to be in a more expensive mortgage, and you're more likely to have college debt than your white counterparts. That's why we need to raise the minimum wage to $15. That's why we need to make sure that we have people jobs and opportunities, and we have community benefits agreements with legally binding mandates where they don't hire Detroiters, and if they don't provide benefits in a neighborhood, they're going to be taken to court.
Mayor, would you like 30 seconds more?
I would. Senator Young says we should raise the minimum wage to $15. I agree with him. The problem is the state legislature, while he was there, passed a law that prohibits cities from doing it. If only we had a senator who would fight for us. I've just recently been fighting for another area of discrimination, driver responsibility fees that are keeping 20% of drivers from being able to get to their jobs legally. We passed the bill out of Senate last week. Senator Young, as usual, was AWOL and wasn't there. We're fighting for the rights of Detroiters, and he's not even going to work.
Senator, you've got another half minute.
Yes, yes. Thank you for that. One, what I want to say is, let me say this. I want to make sure that I put people back to work. Secondly, there he goes again. He's talking about what I'm not doing. If only we had a mayor who wasn't under criminal investigation, he would actually fight to make sure that we have minimum wage. The emergency manager was illegal. Hell, bid rigging and colluding was illegal. That didn't stop him. So I don't know why everything that's against the people is all legal, and everything that's for the people is all illegal.
That's
wrong, and we need change.